Hey guys, like Blue25
and Archer9234.
With episode 52 of Ranger Review. Today we have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, Auto Morphin, and the basic 5-inch figures. So we have now the basic Rangers. They look similar, they actually do look similar, but they are actually not. Blue Ranger is the Auto Morphin and Pink Ranger is the basic. They released two versions of these. The first version was the movie one. When the Power Rangers movie came out, back in the days, Bandai thought, since people still love Power Rangers, they would sell the figurines.
So they made a special metallic version, but they didn't make the movie suits, which I thought was weird. They just
these were not the movie suits. If you guys remember the McDonald's version, the McDonald's had a promotion for the movie. Those were the movie suits. Those actually looked like the movie suits.
But the basic figures were never looked like the movie suits. They were just the basic metallic version.
But in the show, we did see the metallic armor, but it wasn't like...
It was used for like 3 episodes.
Like 3 or 4 episodes, but the thing is that they didn't really look metallic because in the show they had glitter on every.
Yeah, they were sparkly,
and they shine. And these they don't. But funny thing about these figures, they are actually just like the original Auto Morphin figures.
Yeah, just metallic.
Just metallic, and we changed the symbols. The original symbols: Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, Saber Tiger, Tyrannosaurus, Dragonzord / White Tigerzord. Now we have the Falconzord, the Frog, the Crane, the Wolf, the Bear, and the Ape. Then we had the Auto Morphin figures. Now these Auto Morphins, they were not packaged in this box actually. They were packaged in a special box. It was like the Alien Ranger kind of box, yellow and green. The only difference is that, besides them being Auto Morphin, they were actually different. They were not available like everywhere because they're pretty kind of,
They were kind of rare.
Uncommon. They were uncommon instead of rare. They were kind of uncommon because from what I remember, it was only like maybe KB's. I don't remember clearly, but I just know that KB's was like the only place that carried it for now. But the Auto Morphins, they're the same exact thing. They have the same posability as the original Auto Morphins. The leg joints, the arms, all that. And they do have the same gun. They use the same gun for like the past.
Yeah, all 3 seasons use the exact same Blade Blaster.
The Blade Blaster, it was the same exact thing.
I prefer this Blade Blaster over any other Blade Blaster from either later years or the 2010 line because it was a lot stiffer and it looked better in white.
And actually is not plastic. And the funny thing, what I really like about the originals is that there's a peg in the hand, there's a hole in the... So it's like, hey, guess what guys? So much easier. That concept was actually nice. And technically the Blade Blaster was somewhat white in the show anyway. Now the funny thing about the Auto Morphins in the movie, they actually have the current cast: Tommy, Adam, Kimberly, Billy, Aisha, and Rocky. Now Aisha, Rocky, Adam, and Tommy did have an Auto Morphin in the second series, but
it was very rare.
Those were really rare to find. The common ones were always the original First Wave. Now the First Wave, everyone will agree, they were actually one of the coolest figurines in the MMPR Twilight. Even to now, I actually think those were the coolest ones. Because they had a gimmick. Unlike the figures now, you don't really have gimmicks that much. You have Billy's head, boom, he's back to the Ranger. Now the Auto Morphins, the movie versions are pretty rare, because since they were pretty uncommon, people are paying about maybe $60, $70 for one figurine. If you're lucky enough, you can get a whole set. So now we have Pinks. Same posability as always, head. These were the same, they use the exact same mold as the originals. All they did was just paint it, nice and shiny, and they changed the logo on the chest.
These figures do have some limited posability though, because the legs can't be bent all the way back, and then the arms don't bend all the way back either.
Yeah, but the thing is that you can actually at least
you can
turn the figure, but other than that,
certain things you can't do though, like twisting the wrist.
Yeah, you can, but you can do this. Now the difference between these is that this is the first time we actually, each and every other figure, as you guys can see from the background, we have blue and yellow in the package. They included the gun, the Ranger, and the power coin, the corresponding power coin to whatever Ranger is. But the funny thing is, these are the original. These are the original
Power coins.
Original 5 power coins. Pterodactyl, Triceratops, and Saber-tooth tiger.
They actually never released Ninja coins.
The Ninja coins were never released. Funny thing is that these were actually colored, but they were the original power coins. They were just painted this spray
metallic version.
Yeah. So you got pink with pink, blue with blue, yellow with yellow.
The thing I didn't like though is that they released these power coins, but at this point in the series, they weren't selling the Power Morpher anymore.
Yeah. It even says how do you use it with the power coin, but majority of the people by then they either got rid of the power coin or something.
Yeah. So it's like kids who joined the series like late season 2, season 3, you didn't have the Power Morpher at that point. So I thought that was like a big screw up.
The 8-inch figures, the same thing. They had the movie logo and everything, but they just didn't really sell well because I guess people already had the original 8 inches. They didn't really want another set because they were exactly the same thing, just shiny. The only thing that I would say is get White Ranger because White Ranger was only available on the White Tiger Zord. Other than that, you can just skip this line. I would say these figures are actually kind of cool. I really would get them, but just don't spend so much money on these. You can get them loose, but I would actually get them really just for the power coins. The power coins are really nice money. If you want the Auto Morphin, it will cost you pretty big penny. But so join us next week for the Mix and Morph base from the 2010 Power Rangers Twilight. If you come subscribe, we'll see you next week. Hey guys, at Blue25
and Archer9234.
Episode 52.
I told you right before it, and you still.
I up again. Okay. They included the.
It's still funny though that the yellow power coin is still yellow anyway by default. So it's kind of weird that they painted yellow anyway.
Just a darker, lighter yellow. Funny thing is, Japan actually copied us.
Yeah, later on, starting from
Ranger, they had Auto Morphin. No, wait, Kaku Rangers.
Oh, it was Kaku.
Kaku Rangers started the Auto Morphins in Japan, and they started copying us. So it was like pretty cool.
But then that was it. After a while, they went back to their Sufubi figures that are just vinyl, and they don't look that good.
Maybe the Twilight didn't sell. We don't know, but
yeah, Japan for some reason doesn't like our action figures the way we make them, but we don't like their versions of action figures.
But yeah, Japan for some reason likes how we do things with figurines, because unlike our figures, we can do posability with them. We have moving stuff. The figurines for Japan, they're like just plain stiff. Like I move it up and down. That's it. No bounding joints. No nothing.
Only the SH figures are posable.
SH figures are really posable.